I wanted to do a video about kind of sales and when things go wrong, kind of how to deal with them, because I spoke before about hoarding in business and kind of making sure that we're not holding on to things that aren't really serving our business. And sometimes when we create products and they don't work, that can also lead us to hang on and hoard things that are no longer serving us. So if you have got products that haven't been able to sell, maybe you've had them for a while and you've tried to sell them. Sales are a good way of trying to get rid of old stock. It's what a lot of businesses do. Sometimes you may lose some profit on those, but you are kind of able to recoup some of the initial costs. But obviously we have to evaluate then what happens when even a sale doesn't work. Now, firstly, it's really important to analyse why the product hasn't sold. If your TV wasn't working, you would do some troubleshooting before just binning it and buying a new one. And this is what we need to do here as well. So if a product isn't selling, we have to analyse why. Maybe it's your marketing. Is the messaging clear enough? Maybe it's the photos. Do they show off the product in enough angles? Are the descriptions in your shop clear enough? Do you show people using or wearing your product? This helps kind of give an image of scale and to see it in use. Are you clear enough about its use and purpose? Do you target your ideal client with your messaging? Is it the right time of year to launch that particular product? Is it pricing? With so many questions to think about, it's really not a quick process. So if we are changing things up to see what works best, we kind of have to analyse, always analyse. It's all about trial and error. We launch, we analyse, we adjust. And sometimes we just have to come to the conclusion that not every product is a winner. We can't all have winners. And even like huge companies such as Coca-Cola, they've had some huge product failures, including actually their new Coke, which caused a public outcry. They had people signing petitions and boycotting the product because of the fact that they tried a new formulation. They were just trying something new and it didn't work. And actually, they had to bring back the original formulation, which is why we have Coca-Cola Classic, because that was the original formulation that they used. And actually, when they brought that back, people went out in their hordes to go and buy it. And that made sales go up. So even for that split moment where the new formulation didn't quite work and they had a drop in sales, in fact, they were the second largest beverage company then to Pepsi at that time, they brought it back. They created something, it didn't work, they analysed and they adapted. And you know what? They've had products that have worked well in one country, but maybe haven't worked well in others. And as a company, they celebrate innovation by celebrating failures, because without innovation, without failures, you can't have innovation, because you have to put things forward and know that sometimes it's going to work and sometimes it isn't. And you just got to keep on and moving past that fear of failure. And that fear of failure is what often holds us back as small business owners, because we expect everything to be a winner and it's just not going to be that way. And just because something fails doesn't mean that you're a failure as a business owner, and it doesn't mean your business is a failure either. It's just about analysing and adapting. So I want you to have a think about those things that you've tried, those products, those services that you've tried that haven't quite worked out. Maybe you launched something and it didn't quite go to plan. Maybe you launched something and it only got a couple of sales where you thought it was going to be like a sellout. Maybe we're comparing ourselves to other businesses that are doing similar things to us and comparing our successes to theirs. It's not going to be the same. We can't compare our year 1 to someone's year 12. We are never going to be in the same situation as another business. We're not going to have the same options, or we're not going to have the same opportunities. So we really need to start being kind to ourselves and realise that we have to go down our own path and discover things and learn things for ourselves. Actually, true innovation within business is doing what other people aren't doing. It's being unique and being risky. And sometimes those risks pay off and sometimes they don't. So have a think about those mistakes that you've made. You know, have a think about how those failures have shaped you and your business. Maybe you produced a product that didn't work and then it made you go in a different direction. Maybe that direction is exactly where you should have been going anyway, and it's this kind of natural progression that you needed to have that mistake to then be the person that you are and to be the business that you're running. So how has it made you better? Maybe that kind of product, you know, we've got to think about how everything that we go through helps to shape us as people, and it gives us humility, it gives us problem solving skills that, you know, if everything just went right all the time, we wouldn't have. And actually it's really important to have those problem solving skills. It's really important for us to not have things go right for us all of the time. And then I want you to think about, if you do have products that you're sitting on right at this moment and you're thinking, I don't know what to do with them, they're just sitting there, they're taking up space, I want to try something new, but I've got these products that are kind of hanging over my head that I need to sell, I need to get rid of. Have a think, how could you use those products a little bit outside of the box? You know, maybe you've analysed that it was your marketing that didn't quite work, and maybe you want to try again and you want to try a different strategy. You know, make sure that you do, make sure that you have tried all the different avenues from analysing why that product didn't work, and try different avenues, because it may just be your timing, it may be the messaging, it may be the product or the price. There's lots of things that could have led to the failure of that particular item. But ultimately, if it doesn't align with your business and your customer, then it's not going to work no matter what you do. So what you could then do instead, just some suggestions, things that I've done when I've got a product that hasn't sold. I donate them for raffles, especially for charity raffles, because it's a really, really good way of getting your business out there. You're getting your business card out there. You're putting your products, you know, your product is going for a good cause, but ultimately it's free marketing. You're being able to send out your business card and people can then follow you and see what you do. And then it might be that one product that maybe didn't align with your audience aligns with the person that has won it in this raffle prize, because they're a different audience. Maybe they like it, and then maybe they go on to look at your other things and go, oh, I like that as well, and you've gained another follower and potentially a customer down the line as well. So that's one option. Raffle prizes for charities, getting involved with other charities that align with you and your business, and sending out some of those products that haven't quite sold to them. Maybe you could be sending them out as free gifts with orders, as like a little thank you, because you know what, no one is going to be disappointed with a freebie. Everybody loves a freebie. Even if they go, it's not my style, they can give it to somebody else as a gift. It's something that is kind of adding that little extra touch, and it's also allowing you to free up that space, because I've said it before about hoarding. The more clutter we have around us, it clutters our space, it clutters our mind. So sometimes getting rid of a product that isn't serving us, that isn't selling, and we're putting all of our hopes and dreams on trying to hope that it sells. Sometimes we just need to let it go and be like, you know what, this can be a part of a larger marketing plan. You know, I can put it out there as a free gift. It feels nice for the customer to have this free thing. I've got rid of something that was just taking up space for me. And it's a win-win, because people buy from small businesses for those little extra touches. And what's the harm? What's the harm? I know it might be difficult because you feel like you've lost out, but there is a massive difference between losing out on a product and thinking, oh, I didn't get the profit for that product, than just holding on to it indefinitely. It's, you know, holding on to it indefinitely when it's not working, and obsessing over trying to sell this product is just not healthy for a business. So when Coca-Cola did their new product launch of that new Coke and it didn't work, they put it out there, they had all that negative backlash, and straight away they took it all off the shelf. They lost out on a lot of money from having to do that, but they did it because they needed to align with their audience, and their audience was saying, no, don't like this is terrible, blah 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 blah. So they listened to their audience and they acted accordingly. So yeah, just a little food for thought. Have a little think about what you're currently sat on within your business that maybe isn't selling as you'd want it to, and think about how you can either change it up to see if you can make a difference in those sales, or have a think about, is it worth settling and knowing that that product maybe isn't right for your audience, and find other ways in which to relieve yourself of them. I hope that helps. Thanks.